The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Welcome, you and all. Welcome to the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. That's right. I'm your host, Crispin Valentin. And today, I have a very special episode because we have a Houston/Washington takeover. We have Mr. Neva Die, a.k.a. Eternal. He's an artist, MC, podcaster, part of the Texas Underground Radar, manager, and more. Also, a Texas OG. We also have G-Love, artist, creative director, ghostwriter, amateur boxer, high energy personality, motto, show love, get love, gangsta love, originally Mexican roots. How you doing today? Puerto Rican roots, by the way, Mr. Eternal, or Mr. Neva Die. Sorry, you switch it up. And we have Anna Mvze, a.k.a. Ayo Smiley, a.k.a. Anna Marie.
Oh my goodness.
Peruvian roots.
Oh my name.
Bilingual artist, ghostwriter also. At 7 to about 8 years old, she decided to take on rapping, originally from Washington, D.C. What's up, Anna Mvze? How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm feeling really, really good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Very
Appreciate
detailed.
y'all being here.
No,
thank you
thank you
very
for
much.
having us.
Y'all
Shit,
came a
all
long
love,
way
man.
from Houston. I seen that y'all were here yesterday rocking the show. How did that go?
Man,
That's
it was
dope.
dope,
It's
man.
fun.
Las Vegas, M. Microwave Rolly.
Yep.
They put it down 3. The Hard Way album coming out soon. Man, much love to them boys. They had a whole bunch of legends in the building. It was dope vibes.
Yeah.
Crowd showed love. It's
Yeah,
dope,
I see.
man.
I saw the IG stories. I saw the shots too. Y'all good? Y'all feeling good?
Yeah, hell
Little
yeah.
All right.
hangover, but we hanging in there.
All right.
Hey,
Welcome
we
to
do
the-
this.
Welcome to the podcast. Appreciate y'all being here. Okay, so we're gonna start with a segment that I like to call Preguntas al Chile. We have some graphics playing right now. If you're not
Preguntas
subscribed
al
to
Chile.
YouTube, I don't know what you're waiting for, so you can see all the beautiful graphics parts put together. If you're on audio only, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, go over there, check them out. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
We're gonna start with G-Love, make our way over there. They're gonna
Yeah.
be tough.
Sheesh.
Tacos or tortas?
Tacos.
Oh, tacos.
Tacos.
Okay. Corn tortilla or flour
Corn
tortilla?
tortilla.
Corn.
Flour.
I think she studied.
Get out.
Mexican coca jarrito.
Mexican coca.
I just want to be different.
Mexican coca jarrito.
See, it depends on my mood. Right now, Jaritos.
Which flavor though?
Pineapple.
Pineapple. That's good.
Mexican coca.
Mexican coca. Okay. Agua de horchata, Jamaica, or tamarindo?
Damn, that's a tough one. I like all three of them.
You like all three?
I'll say tamarindo.
Tamarindo.
Jamaica.
That's a good one too. Jamaica. I like Jamaica.
Horchata con Hennessy.
So you got the rum chata. Oh no, it's a different one too, right?
Yeah.
Ah. so
Nah, you
put
just
a
add
twist.
it all. You just mix it all together.
Put it. You make it yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, not horchata, but
Okay. Some other stuff.
say.
All right. Salsa verde, salsa roja.
Verde.
Verde.
green.
Green. Pozole, menudo.
Menudo.
I never tried pozole and menudo. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Menudo.
Menudo.
But that green pozole go hard though.
I've never tried.
No.
I used to love pozole, the
Yeah.
regular pozole. I don't eat meat anymore. I miss it, but my mom makes me some.
Yeah.
With some mushrooms. It's pretty good.
Oh,
too.
damn! You said with mushrooms?
Yeah.
Damn, I
Yeah,
gotta
the
try that.
mushrooms.
It's
I
really
love
good.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
I don't.
She replaces that meat instead of everything else except for like mushrooms. And
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
dope.
Okay, so this one's gonna be for her, but y'all can chime in if you ever had it. Lomo saltado o pollo a la brasa.
Oh my god. See, it depends on my mood. Lomo saltado. I
Those
guess.
are Peruvian dishes, by the way.
Yeah.
It
And she's been holding
depends.
off,
Yeah, she
and I
ain't
put
doing
y'all on
it.
game
She ain't put us on her,
because
yeah.
their cuisine is like very
It's-
top of the world.
For
Like,
real?
Yeah.
Dang.
I can't believe you're not the first thing that you introduced them to.
All right, we're gonna
Not
hook you up with
yet.
some pozole.
Not yet. Oh yeah, y'all gotta hook me up.
Okay, so which
and then
one
we
did you
gonna
go
match
with?
them. Right now, in this very moment, lomo
Uh-huh.
saltado.
Okay.
But it depends on my mood.
But if it gets colder, hotter, it depends. You'll change to pollo a la brasa.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Arroz con leche or champús for you?
Arroz con leche.
Okay.
Yeah, arroz con leche, boom.
Mazamora.
Mazamorra. You gotta say the next one.
Okay, this was for all y'all. Tequila or mezcal?
Mezcal.
Tequila.
Tequila.
Okay. And Valentina, Tapatio, Cholula sauce.
Valentina.
I think I had Valentina, right? I like that one.
Yeah.
All of them.
I forget you were Puerto Rican and some of these, and that messed me up on that part because I didn't find out that till one of the interviews I was in. I already finished this.
Hey,
I'm
but
like,
I mean, I'm from Texas, so
that's true too, though. That is true. But have you had any of the Puerto Rican dishes at all?
Some when I was younger.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
When you were younger. When I was younger
Yeah.
too. Okay. The little popsicles, they have chile, but some of them come in different flavors. You got the sandia, elote, or mango. Which ones do you like?
Elote.
I don't
Have you
think
ever
I've
had 'em?
tried them. I don't think so.
Mango.
Mango. And the last question will be for the food. Conchas, the conchita breads, the brown ones, the white ones, or the pink ones?
The brown ones.
Actually, never tried
You never
them.
had a conchita either? Y'all left her hanging on that one. Y'all need
I didn't know all the dishes he hasn't had yet.
All they eat is chicken wings.
Who?
Chicken wings.
All they eat is chicken wings?
Everything's chicken.
Bone in though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except now you were just
Not
having
chicken
you were
nuggets.
just having chicken nuggets.
And fun fact, G Love like the suicidal. She like the hottest.
And she don't
Really?
cry, nothing.
You like the hot
Man, I
stuff?
don't know why. I just every place I go, it's just like give me the hottest you got. I don't know why. It's
I met
just-
somebody like you before.
For real?
I like flavor too. I like the hot is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
max I go because I like to taste it. But
It's crazy they always give her an extra wing too.
really?
Always.
First for bravery. But like, that's probably what it is.
I told you that's what it was. Too.
Which
like that.
conchita did
Nobody
you
was
like?
against
The
this
brown ones, the
spam.
white ones, or the pink ones?
Go with the white.
With the white. Okay. And for all y'all, the word Latino, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word Latino?
Cultura.
Movement, dancing, rhythm.
Pride.
Awesome. Beautiful words. And any of y'all identify as Latinos? Do you care if anybody calls you Latino? You prefer to be called like Peruvian or Mexican or anything like that?
I mean, we're all one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I like the word better because I feel unity with it.
yeah.
All right, absolutely. I appreciate that very much. Okay, here we go. So I did ask him to ask y'all if there's any questions, like 2 questions that all the interviews that I had, because all y'all have plenty of interviews, that, man, I wish it would have asked me about this, or I wish it would have said something about that. Anything come to mind? Nothing.
We
Same
talked
here,
about
right?
it on the car ride.
Really?
Yeah, we tried.
I have a lot of questions. Okay, first of all, how y'all even come to be? First of all, Mexican descent, Peruvian, Puerto Rican. You're from D.C., Dallas first, and then Houston, and then you're from Houston. And then you were moving around a lot. How did y'all even come together? How did that
Like-minded
happen?
individuals seem to find each other, man. We all walking with the same purpose and doing shows, networking, or running into each other and having conversations. And
Do y'all
Same.
recall the first time y'all ran into each other?
Yeah.
When was that?
We actually had it was I think a virtual concert he was doing, and it was like an all female thing, kind of, right? It was
Yeah.
like and then I was on there, and I just met him that first time. Then the universe did its thing. We met again. Then I kept seeing him, and then we just, here we are.
So it had to be about 2020 though, right? It hasn't been that long, has it?
No, it hasn't been that long.
yeah, it was during coronavirus.
So it was 2020.
Yeah, and we started doing virtual concerts because nobody could perform or anything.
Yeah.
Everybody was stuck at home. So me
Was
and my
that the
boy,
one you were celebrating 20 years?
That was the first one we did. We
That was
did
like
that
a
for my
Valentine's
birthday
thing.
and celebrating 20 years. But it was successful, so we kept on doing it. We did a whole series. Me and my boy, Artistic Productions.
Got you.
And the one that was all female was a February 14th Valentine's Day show. So it was all females.
Yeah. I seen a little footage of it. So you were there.
That's
But
the
you
first one
already
we-
had been doing your thing individually by
Yeah.
yourself, right?
Yeah, I was doing my own thing, just G-Love movement, When I ran into him, he was doing his own thing, you know what I mean? And OG, new school, new wave shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're bringing in a new flavor.
And what about you? When did you came into the picture?
Specifically, May 13th of 2022.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember. It wasn't that long ago. So
It's not that long ago. It's still this
yeah.
year.
Yeah. So, over the years, I've always been back and forth to Houston because, as you stated, A.O. Smiley, once upon a time, I had got booked for an event in May, and last minute Infamous Text tried getting me on a weigh-in that she was, hosting. and being a part of, to just open up and perform and
Right.
stuff. And it's funny because I was following G Love for a little while already, and I was like, she's probably the only person that I ever was intimidated by. Like her energy, everything about her. Yeah.
She was?
And, you know, it's the same way when people look at me. Like a lot of people say that they're intimidated by me because of how I carry myself. Like I'm very like, I'm focused. I know what I am and stuff. I felt the same way about her. So initially I was going to say no. But I saw at the bottom of the flyer, it said proceeds go towards domestic violence. And for me, that touched me because I got out of an abusive relationship months ago. And so when I seen that, I was like, I have to. And so we met, and it's just the vibes were just there. We just all instantly clicked, and it's been history since.
Yeah, shout out to Infamous Text, because that's how me and G-Love met too.
Crazy.
He introduced us too.
Her. There's something funny that you used to use. Can you read the date on that?
Where?
The date at the
Liquid.
bottom. It's 2014, right? And what does it say right there? Show love, get love. So I used to have a radio show here, or a internet show, and I used to say show love, get love.
Dang.
So when I saw her using that in 2014, I was like, this is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
How
Full
somebody
circle.
else that I like
Never met.
before,
Yeah.
that I was doing it years. I'm not saying that I took it or I started it, but
Yeah.
it's crazy how somebody else was using it years later.
Yeah.
And I seen you use it too. I'm like, what? And I kind of like had the same idea as far as you were like, you know, you show me love, we get love. And that's how I was dabbing on music for a little bit and write it with a click. But that was the thing too, kind of sort of the unity thing, but it kind of like eventually plays itself out. And that was crazy though. I was tripping out whenever I saw that. I'm like, what? Like, get out of here, 2014. And here I am. And that was trippy.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Okay, so for you changed to with Eternal when you were before with Latin Embassy.
Yeah.
But why you went with Mr. Neva Die? I know you said for marketing purposes. I know you said it was easier to find, and I know you had said it in one of the bars. Well, why didn't you go with anything different than that?
I mean, yeah, I was rapping. It was actually the last song we did is Latin Embassy before this new track we just dropped. And I was just writing, and I just said, Mr. Neva Die. I was like, damn, that shit hard. So
She kept kind of using it as a nickname, or you were just trying to find that
at first
names?
it was Eternal, aka Mr. Neva Die, but I could foreshadow that Eternal was going to be a problem eventually because it's such a common name. You know what I'm saying? Just
They got
like
movies and all
Speedy.
kinds of stuff.
something simple.
But
So I was
the
like, I
crazy
need
thing-
something more complex.
Yeah, but the crazy thing, it means the same thing.
Yeah.
Eternal,
Yeah.
Mr. Never Die.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I was like, did he see that, or was that just from the bar? Which is cool though.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool that you thought ahead though.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's crazy because when we first started like coming together, I was like on some he's Mr. Never Die, I'm Forever Live, and I thought about it, I was like, oh, it's the same shit.
Okay. Well, one other question for you before I get to you. So how I know that you use music as far as therapy, and it helped you a lot going through some tough times. But has any listener or fan of yours reached out to you and give you a story of like it helped them out or saved their life or anything like that?
Even like I do Facebook posts, and sometimes I'll just feel something and I'll post it, and I do it on purpose because people hit me up and they be like, "Hey man, I really appreciate you posting that because it helped me." I feel the same way, and now I feel like I'm not alone, and that's the same reason why I do music. Because when I was going through things, when I was a teenager and stuff, and I'd hear other people, I felt like I was an alien. Like, I don't know. But when I'd hear people talking about certain things in their music, I knew I was connected to something else, you know? I didn't feel so alone. So
That's what's up. And is there been a particular story that somebody told you like you kind of saved their life? 'Cause I know other artists that share something like that.
Yeah.
Do you recall what happened?
I mean, basically that. Like, but it was really more. It's really more conversations, not like things like people say my music saved their life. But I mean, I talk to a lot. I'm always open to talk to people. I'm not a fucking asshole. So you message me, then I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And I've had people tell me that, man, that conversation you had with me saved my life.
That's what's up. That's dope. Okay, G Love, you used to move around a lot, from what I heard. You have a favorite place that you were living at that you really, really liked, really enjoyed?
That I visit or that I live?
that you lived, or either you visit, either one?
I think, you know, I really liked Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah, it was real calm, you know, and I've been to like many busy cities, and that was just like, it just felt like, I mean, I've never been to a ranch, but it felt like like a ranch.
You like that type of vibe better?
Outdoor,
As
yeah,
far
like
as,
outdoor
living?
life, yeah, outdoor lifestyle, like, you know,
Yeah, your last video was definitely nature.
yeah.
You were definitely on the wild. That was pretty shock value for sure, but that was pretty dope though. And even the way you did it, because I'm pretty sure you mastermind some of the idea. It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, she
Appreciate it.
masterminded the whole idea. That was all her idea.
yeah, definitely shock value because you still need that, to be able to draw attention. So
Yeah, I mean, no facts, but I try to symbolize it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what we are, you know, if you actually get to listen to the song, what I'm saying, you know, like, I walk with purpose. You know, it's like I'm here for a purpose. Like, it was more of like how God sent you type thing. Like, it had like a double meaning. You know what I'm saying? And seeing it for what it is, what I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, how a lot of people say, well, women can't be like shirtless. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
okay, so here's my debate on that. We didn't come up with clothes in the beginning of our early.
Exactly.
Like this
That's how
is
God
this
took
is
you.
this is new stuff. This is all newer compared to us that we used to run around with. Like, I'm talking about thousands of years with nothing. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we now made it to be weird if you're not wearing any clothes.
Yeah.
Right.
But literally, we came with
Companies did because they want to make money.
oh, every industry that's out there is about the bottom line, and they really
Yeah.
want to make money. But it's true though. We king. Like, what's wrong with walking
that's real.
around? I mean, it's frowned upon, but still,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We literally didn't have this many years ago. We didn't have clothes.
That's so
You know?
exactly.
So
Yeah, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's really like how he says it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk like the Bible. Like, you're open for interpretation. So therefore, I mean, however motherfuckers took it, you know, that's how they took it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but if you actually listen to the song, then you'd get a different perspective on it. Overall.
So you're trying to get to those people that are really willing to listen to the message instead of just like
Think about it.
this
Yeah.
person.
Did you listen to it, or was it that shockful that you're just like staring at it and you did not hear a word that I said? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so then,
Well, for
let's
me,
rewind that
because
here.
I'm a dude, it was first the
Shock
visual,
value.
but then later start hearing like, oh, okay.
It actually has a message.
Yeah.
One of her older bars, she says, "It's hard being deep in a shallow world." That sums her up.
It is true. It is true, man. It really is. How did your name come about? I don't know if I seen in one of the interviews you talked about your name itself.
Gangsta love. Man, it's just genuine. Like, the G stands for genuine, godly gangsta love, you know? And I mean, that's all I've ever been, you know? Like, I always been all about love, unity, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just in me, you know? And I mean, I'm all about respect, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And, you know, how I was raised, and it's just, I'm some gangster shit, you know what I'm saying?
So that's the reason why you are the way that is, because of the way that your upbringing was?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? We were all once kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we are what we saw, what we've, you know, every experience that we've ever came across, like, that's what has made us, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's been like dealing with problems or, you know, any kind of situation is what makes us today.
I think one of the videos that you had posted on IG was that, or it was a post that talking about as we were kids, like nothing was impossible, and still we started growing up, and then certain things started to get on the way.
Yeah, man. I believe that we all still like children. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah.
God says is like, oh, that's God's children. God's, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all His kids type thing. You know what I'm saying? Because He sees us for what we really are. And, you know, as kids, we understand that the world is a playground. You know what I mean? We want to play with everything. We want to touch everything. You know what I mean? We just want to have fun, you know? And I mean, as adults, I believe we still would have fun. You know what I'm saying?
But then
we
everybody's like, "Don't touch that.
forget.
Don't do
Yeah,
that."
but we
Stop it.
forget.
Killing it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
Like, they domesticate us. But we were wild.
It's true. And what you said earlier, it trips me out too. Like, we're like connected. There was another day I was at the gym. I was working out, and this man was leaving, and he was just like doing like this, waving at the lady on the front counter, and the lady was just not paying. But he waved like he was a little kid, excited to say bye to her, and she wasn't looking because she was dealing with something else. He walked out. And then the same thought to me was like, we're just a bunch of little kids trying to figure life out. And I posted that on Facebook, like, we're just a bunch of little kids still trying to figure out what's going on. Because we, like, we might just grown into our body bigger, but literally,
but we still trying to figure out. Like, we never stop learning,
and get rid of all those traumas and all this other stuff that happens. That it is real. That stuff, even not only us and people that we live our lives, but the stuff that happened even previously before. I feel some of the things carry over that we just still have to grow consciousness and grow out of it.
And it goes back to what you were saying, like how you're like, oh damn, well, is that why you are the way you are? I mean, I didn't know what that meant, but I mean, that's why the name came about, Gangsta Live. Like, I was always on survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I was always in survival mode, so that's all I knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
so you had to put the gangsta toughness part, but you still are a loving person.
I mean, think about it. What is gangster? You know, a lot of people confuse gangster with like, oh no, we out here shooting up, pop.
Most of the ones that I know from the gangsters that I know are respectful, have rules they live by,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
things like that.
Loyalty and family values.
Family values. That's what gangster is. You know what I'm saying? Like taking care of your family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's in me.
Like-minded individuals coming together for a purpose.
And that's what I said. I mean, the G stands for genuine, godly, gangster love.
Got you. Love that very much. And I think you have mentioned it, but I don't know if they ask you specifically about your name. So I'm the first. I'm just kidding. I don't care about that. But, okay, so I know you say you're ghostwriting, but who are some of the artists? Can you give us some names? Or you're not allowed to?
I'm not allowed to.
You really? Really? Dang, that sucks.
But hey, I may be
off the record. Since we're on the news setup.
I may be ghostwriting for some of your favorite rappers. So
off the record, and when we're out the news set, we can talk about it. I'm just kidding. I respect it. Whatever it is, I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, so as far as Anna, so why do you turn the V upside down?
In Maze? So Maze is basically, the reason why I came up with that is because we're all in our own mazes,
Yeah.
We're all trying to find a balance, happiness, and just who we are. We're trying to figure out life. As far as like doing it upside down, it's just to give it that kind of maze twist to it. So. Yeah.
And I know where the Anna comes from. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did more research because I know you went on some. Now you didn't go off on somebody, so you should have done your research about your name, your other name. So I'm like, I better start looking stuff up and see what's going on. Okay,
you got beef.
So here's a question for you, and I know you touched up on earlier about coming out of an abusive relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So don't forget, it was a great video.
Thank you.
Great. I don't know if you were acting or really channeling what had happened, but even. I was like freaking shocked and looking at that shit. I was like, it was giving me goosebumps. And I was like, what? Like literally, for real, it was great.
Thank you.
So, how do you come out of that? Because one, from the outside looking in, you'd be like, how can you just not get out of it? You know what I mean? How can you just not walk out? But it's easy to say when you're not in the situation, whenever your feelings are not involved in it. So what are the thoughts that start processing in your mind to start making that decision to exit out and make your way out?
When I was in it, it was very hard, because it's really psychological, you know. I believed a lot in the person in what we could be, and I think I held on to that idea of it more than anything. Mm-hmm. When I was in it, I was also isolated. I moved from a whole different, I was from DC and I moved all the way, to Texas and stuff. And so I didn't really have any kind of anybody telling me anything because nobody knew. Mm-hmm. I didn't really have that like support or like help. But, a close family member had recommended that I watch this show, Made. It's a Netflix show, and it's basically about a young girl who was in an abusive relationship, and she had a daughter and everything. So it shows that whole process. Right. And when I saw that to me made me feel like I'm not alone. That was the only thing that I had to make me feel like, okay, I'm not crazy.
So
like
you
I know what
entrusted her with like letting you know what was going on with your life? Is that how she recommended the show, or she just told you to watch
I feel
the
like
show?
she kind of knew,
Mm,
you know, and that was her way of like helping me,
gotcha.
you know. But yeah, it was ever since I saw that show that really is what gave me the courage to take those steps into to leaving, you know. And that was like a huge step for me, but you know, a lot of people also fail to realize that going no contact is also very hard to do, you know, because it's so easy to just, you know, slip right back into it. So I mean, it was a hell of a healing journey for me over the, you know, the course of the months since I left and stuff, but it was definitely that show that planted that seed that was like, this is not okay and you're not crazy, you need to get out.
Yeah.
So.
What would anybody that, because I know you like the fact that certain people can look up to you, especially like making history on different things that you're doing, having an example like you know about it. Whenever you saw SPM was able to rap and he looks like you the same thing that you see some Latina that's doing it. So for anybody that maybe looks up to you, what kind of can you tell them if they're in the same situation that they can like help them start making their way or things like that?
Well, you know, everybody's life is different. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of different circumstances. There could be kids involved, you know, financial. It's really hard, but I think the first step is just realizing that you're not crazy, you know, because in these, you know, abusive situations, they really make you believe that there's something wrong with you and that you're the problem, you know, but you're not crazy and you're not alone. And when you do have that time to yourself, like let's say if he's at work or she's at work, you know, take that time to set a little bit of a plan, a game plan on how you can. You know, there's resources to shelters or just, you know, going on the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Like there's just so much information out there that can help you find that way out. So I would definitely say that, you know, just take your time with it because I know it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. So what made you want to decide to do a video besides the fact that I think it might be helpful to somebody because you do include that information at the end of the video?
Yeah.
And then there are the comments based on a lot of people can relate to it. What made
Yeah.
you want to, after going through all that and have a somewhat kind of relive it a little bit?
Yeah.
What made you
it
want to
was
go
really-
through it?
Well, to be honest, in seeing how that Netflix show helped me a lot,
Mm.
I could only imagine, you know, I have a platform, like God gave me this gift so that I can be able to spread a message and to heal other people. And that's what I wanted to do. And even though it was like very hard for me, because it was pretty fresh, you know, when I wrote the song and then when I shot the video, it was still very fresh for me. But I knew it was necessary because I'm looking at the bigger picture. You know, we don't have a lot of people talking about these kind of issues, especially within our culture, within music.
Yeah.
And why not? So
That's great. I appreciate that. And again, that video, man, it was really freaking good.
thank
It
you.
was
I
really
appreciate
good. And I think it was helpful. Whatever it is that you wanted to accomplish on it, even if it was one or two people, I think you probably
Oh
touched
no,
those
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
One other question that I have for you was, I know you have mentioned before, and a few times you have mentioned that you came out of like from nothing, but that can be many things, right? Like, what do you really mean by coming out of like literally nothing? What is
Like beans and nopales,
like stuff like that?
like beans and rice type shit. You know,
Like straight up from
not
no.
yeah, like nothing.
Yeah. Was that the reason why you moving around a lot, or is that just the way that it was for you in life? Because you say you have to be in
I
survival
mean,
mode.
unfortunately, you know, some are more fortunate to have like both parents, you know, and so having to step up and be like, you know, the second parent to the siblings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just what life has given. You know what I'm saying? Like thrown me.
Yeah, and you said music was always part of your life, even growing up. Is that because your parents were musicians, or somebody in the family was?
No, it's just because it's I feel like music is a universal language and I feel like that connects a lot of us, you know. So I just like Anna said, you know, I just could express myself through it, and it's just I wanted to help others and I wanted to let them know like, hey, you know, you're not alone, you know, like there's somebody else that is also going through these kind of things, you know.
Right.
And so, I mean, how I see it, I feel like we all have that similar story as far as, you know, wanting to be an inspiration to others, you know. And so that's why it just works, you know. That's why it just works. And you know, when you
Like-minded
move with-
individuals.
Like,
Yeah,
straight up, it's like
testimony.
almost the same story. For yours is different as far as like not being able to relate to some of the things and not being feeling left out,
Yeah.
and then to be able to same thing for you and same thing.
Well, really, what that stemmed from was my mom died when I was 10, so it was that pain, you know,
yeah.
and that's when I started hearing music and started resonating, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, brother.
Oh, it's all good.
The so you used to listen to more rock or metallic or type of music, but
Yeah.
then you moved to pop is the
Yeah.
one that you decided to. And is that particular album? Was there a particular song that you liked more of that album? That
No, I
you'd be
think it
like,
was
I want to
the
be a
whole-
rapper now.
I've always been an album person.
Yeah.
I love the whole concept of creating an album. Not,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody can make a hit song. Not anybody, but it's so much easier to make a hit song than to make a complete work of art.
Yeah, like a
So
whole body
I've
of
always
work.
respect the album. So yeah, when I heard All Eyes on Me and I was big into Death Row, like I like Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, that's when I really started getting into rap. But when I heard All Eyes on Me, it was over.
Yeah. And what about the when you saw SPM do it, like whenever he kind of sort of maybe not Puerto Rican, but you know one of the first Latino the first rappers, Whymper Prince Whymper was one of the first rappers. He was Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He was
All right.
100%. He was one of the first ones that was with the wave of the DJs and the new. They started MCs and transferred to rappers.
Yeah.
It was a Puerto Rican. He was a
Already.
Puerto Rican guy.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
absolutely. So when you saw SPM, they kind of sort of a little bit look kind of like you. What did that trigger in your mind? Like we still got a chance. We can get up
Yeah,
there and do
I
it.
felt like I could do it. Like before, I listened to like Pimpster because he was from Dallas, so he
Yeah.
was like one of my main influences. Of course, he became our producer. But yeah, when I saw South Park Mexican on stage, I was just, I mean, I had heard his music. I had got Power Moves. I had a homeboy that was staying with me, and he went to a lowrider show, and he brought Power Moves home. But when I saw South Park Mexican on stage, I was like, damn, I could do this. Like, it's just when you go to live shows, you get a whole different energy.
It's true. It's true. And live instruments and all that stuff, that is a
Yeah.
freaking
It's a
different
whole
vibe.
different
It's
vibe.
a whole different
And really
vibe.
seeing him perform on stage, I was just like, damn, this is attainable.
Yeah. Okay. So are you ready to tell us the name of the project that you have with Crystal Poppins, you, and DJ Blue Diamond, and a date? You already talked about it. It's coming out. So
I wish I could tell you.
the name
Yeah.
and
If-
the date.
If we had one. We're still like in the works of it, of course. But as far as when, I want to see. We're definitely fourth quarter. So this last quarter, for sure.
All right, we hope so. So you have Anna Mvze from Peru, Crystal Pop is Mexican, and Blue Diamond is Dominican
Oh, she's
and
Dominican.
Lebanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she's the only reason I know about it is because I had to look her up because I was like, who is this
Yeah.
lady? And that's pretty dope that y'all
It's pretty
representing
cool.
Latinas.
It's a nice mix.
But
I
the crazy
love
thing
it.
is, all y'all come from different
Yeah.
places and
Uh-huh.
make
Backgrounds.
I love
different backgrounds, different like Mexican, Peruvian, Mexican, and it's crazy that we make some beautiful stuff together, right? Like the song Despacito.
it. Uh-huh.
That song is, of course, Daddy Yankee, Puerto Rican. Fonsi, also Puerto Rican. The producers were from Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
and the videographer was Mexican.
Nice.
So where something happens, we come together that it makes something happen.
And that's why I love the word
Absolutely.
Latino, because
Yeah.
it's unity.
Yeah, brings
Like,
everyone
don't try to
together at
divide
the
us,
end of
man.
the day.
And that's all we
be
are,
together.
man. That's all we are. Unity, man.
Yeah.
That's all we represent.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so no name yet for sure. Okay, we're gonna let it be. It's cool. You've been asked many times, but I'm
coming,
still
it's
like
coming.
maybe today we get lucky and we have a name for it. But
But I will give you a scoop that I haven't told nobody.
what's that?
So me, as far as like, so, I'm still gonna be an individual artist. KP is gonna be an individual artist, but we're gonna come together and we're gonna have like a duo name. So that's,
Okay.
I haven't told anybody that.
Damn, I
so.
didn't even know that.
Well, I'm not trying to get exclusives all the time, you know what I mean? But I appreciate that. Okay, so you've been in the game now 22 years.
Yeah.
22 years. So how long have y'all been in so far? I know you've been at it for a minute.
Since I
And
was
you've
a
been
baby.
really good with your visuals and what kinds of like you can tell that you're been like molded into an artist for the same
Thank
reason.
you.
There's the way that you carry yourself, your videos, your acting. Like there's a lot of things that have to go to. And don't get me wrong, you're
Absolutely.
just as good. But all y'all been at it for a minute. So 22 years. How long have you been at it?
I want to say 10 plus.
10 plus.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
How many total projects you have? I know you have a lot
Projects.
more.
Total projects. Let's see. Projects, I don't have a lot. I want to say like maybe in total like 4 or 5. I've taken down a couple.
Is that because it was with the other label and it's just wasn't your thing, or what was the reason why you took
Well,
it down?
the one with the other label, I still haven't gotten paid for my stuff. But
Was it that bad when you left them? 'Cause
It was bad.
You always kind of sort of like I can get that tension of like wanting like kind of stuff.
It was definitely not the greatest, situation, but with everything bad, you gotta take away something good out of it, and it definitely taught me a lot because when I came into the game, I was like a baby, and I was very gullible. I believed that everybody was good, I thought, oh, business, family, but it's like it's not like that, especially when people don't really have your best interest in mind. But I definitely learned a lot about contracts, about business, about marketing and management and stuff. So I guess there is a
Have you
positive.
forgave them and not only that, but have you moved to the part where it's like learning whatever lesson was and then moving on?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
You let them go.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I've been independent ever since. And I felt like for the longest, it was very hard for me to trust people again to handle my business. So everything that you've seen, it's literally just been me, like putting things together, But I've gotten to a point where, not everybody's like that. Not everybody's doing bad business. You just gotta find the right ones and read the fine print.
You know what I find a red flag to be? Whenever people throw the word family around. I don't like
Yes.
that.
What?
Oh my
I
God.
don't like
Yes.
that.
Look, what?
I don't like that at all. I know who my family is. Like my family
Exactly.
is my family.
Bro,
Like,
Yeah,
say
you don't
that
even gotta say it. You don't
we
even gotta say
business.
it.
Like we business. Like this is we have a mutual understanding. I got respect for you or whatever.
Exactly.
My family is my family. We are not. I don't know how many times you throw the word around, whether it's companies, whether it's whatever. Like, no, my family is my family.
Yeah.
It's who I know has me whenever I'm like literally down and need some help. But when you
Absolutely.
throw that to me, it's like a red flag. Like, okay.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I use that word a lot because I don't have a lot of family. So to me, like, I feel like they're my family, but it is evil how, especially in the music industry, a lot of
to
people
like use that
it. Yeah.
as like
Yeah.
to
Okay.
puppet you.
Not to accuse you of using it, but there's certain people that come from the heart. They're genuine about using it.
Oh, yeah,
And how you
definitely.
carry yourself
Yeah.
to entities and
Right.
people within
Yeah.
that. They know how to manipulate that word
Yeah,
and use it to
absolutely.
get the
Yeah,
most
people
out of
manipulated
No,
me using it.
That's crazy. I do feel a connection. I'm starting, I'm starting to feel a connection.
Some of the thoughts that you had is the same things that I've been like, even way back in the show, like you love type of stuff, like some of the mentality stuff
Yeah.
is just the thoughts are quick. So are you still thinking that everybody's bad and not to get you? Or are you better out there? The world is a beautiful place.
mean,
There's beautiful people out
I
there.
wouldn't be here.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's good and there's bad, but that's none of my business. I know who I am and what I believe in, and I'm walking by faith, and at the end of the day, everything is going to come full circle. What's meant for me is meant for me. I've gotten to this point where, I've met two dope individuals, and the fact that we're able to merge and create something beautiful with longevity, it's like you see, that's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. There is good people out
There's
there.
good people out
You
there,
just
definitely.
gotta
It
just
just
walk
takes a
your
couple
truth.
of weeds you have to
Yeah,
sort
like
out to get to-
that's with anything in life.
Yeah.
So
What about yourself? How long have you been in the game?
I've been like doing it like I can't see myself doing anything else other than music. I don't know, like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Like
What
solid.
made that change?
Well, I was trying to go to college. I was like in between college. Like I was literally outside the college.
You were outside
I
the
was
college?
outside. All I needed was to turn in a couple papers, and then I was in.
You were in.
So I'm sitting outside on a call with A&R, and he's telling me like, look, G, you know, if you go to college, I mean, it was like normal. You know, it's like you got something guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? You do your 4 years, whatever, how many years you got to go, and then you got something. You know, and I thought about it. I'm like, do I really have something guaranteed? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
he was like,
loans, student loans,
yeah, you know,
unless you got a
right.
a scholarship.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sitting here like, yeah. He also told me, he was like, because I was like supposed to be, you know, doing like these moving around like cities, you know what I'm saying, just touring and shit, and really, it was like, do you want to go to college and be like 4 years? And this is my thought process, honestly.
Of
So I was
course, of
like,
course.
do I want to go to college and end up with student loans? And do I want to do this and like be in one place and stay in one place? And since I've always moved around, it's like I've never really wanted to be in one place at that
Yeah.
point when I was an adult. So I was just like, man, I want to travel. I want to see the world. You know what I'm saying? I want to network. I want to make connects in other cities. I want to do what I'm doing here, there. So I mean, I had to make a decision, and I ain't go to college.
It's crazy to me that I think you call yourself an introvert sometimes, but you want to go out and socialize with people.
Yeah, and that's crazy
Yeah.
because like I get
I think
bad
it's in the
anxiety.
spirit of music, right? That's
Yeah,
probably what it is.
like how he was saying, like, nah, just wait till the camera's turned on. It's like it's more of like like I'm a very anxious person, but it's like you have to show who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like how I don't know how to say it. How do you call it when you're introverted and you're forced to be an extrovert because of what you do?
I
Oh,
mean,
the
I
word
call
for
you
it.
like a extroverted introvert.
Extroverted introvert.
Something like
That's
that.
I think that's the term
word.
they use.
Yeah.
That's the word. That's the word. But yeah, man, like I have to push myself to go out there and like talk.
I mean, we
Yeah.
gotta evolve as people, especially if we
Absolutely.
moving for purpose and trying to reach something.
And then to show who you are on camera. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
gotta push that out of me. Like this is who I am. It just takes me a harder moment to want to do it, to
See,
talk.
you're
Like,
loosening up now because now you're using the hands to talk.
you know what I'm
So,
saying?
but she's good on the mic. You're good on the mic.
Yeah.
You're good on your performance. You too, like crowd control, everything too.
Never
Only
done.
22 years, no way that you're not rocking.
Yeah.
But so the how many projects have you gotten now as far as you?
Well, honestly, I dropped my first album really not that long ago. I mean,
Okay.
I've done singles, of
Yeah.
course, but as a whole album, I just dropped it. It's called All Sides of
All
Me.
sides of me. I like the artwork of the puppeteer. Mastermind and moving all the pieces, all the individuals, which
Other
is
sides
different-
of me.
other sides of you, which
Yeah.
is true. Which at the end of the day,
Yeah,
is
and if you
only-
could see there, like you got the boxer, you got the director,
Yeah.
you got the artist, the hype man, you got and just putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you like got a chance to look or like listen to it.
Yeah, I did.
But when you look at it, it's like spells grateful for life.
Yeah, I remember y'all discussing with
Yeah, on
Underground with
Texas
J
Underground
yeah.
Radio. Yeah.
Y'all talking about how what it spelled and you had just had an accident.
Yeah.
And how crazy it was that it spelled that. I don't know if it was intentionally, right? That's the way that you had
Yeah,
it.
and that was like before the accident.
Before
And
the
when
accident.
I went through it, all I was thinking, like, man, like I'm like sitting in the stretcher, like, man, I'm grateful for life, like, like not losing my life at that moment.
You know what's crazy to me? And this is gonna sound bad, but I understand that the queen died or whatever. But before we get to open eyes every day, thousands of people died, and we don't cry for them, or we don't even shed a tear for
We don't
them.
even
Just
pause.
because I never met the lady.
Yeah.
She ain't never done nothing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but she's not much different than any other thousands of people
Yeah.
that died.
Yeah.
So what's so more of because she was more in the spotlight that she
Yeah.
deserves more of empathy for the ones that already passed away. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I wake up, just about every day, and I try to make it a point. And I was thinking about the same thing whenever you were saying, and I'm glad that you're okay. But I'm not immortal. I am mortal, and I will die one day.
Mhm.
But that's not to scare me. That's to realize that I'm just like, it's a blink of an eye, and we're really gone.
Yeah.
And certain things like that. Like you had just finished doing. I think you were with somebody, and you were going somewhere, and all of a sudden, just like that.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
that
we had
fast.
just left Brick Wolfpack's house,
Wolfpack, yeah.
and just like that, in a blink of an eye, literally a blink of an eye. Like I closed my eyes, and like that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I thought about it too. How you saying like it happens like that, but I thought about it as far as like man, like cause I had an epiphany, bro, and I want to throw up just thinking about it, but
Please don't. We'll have to pause and clear it up.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go
but
ahead.
it was an epiphany because I felt like so disconnected, like I can't describe it, bro. I can't describe it, but I feel like I escaped death.
Did it feel like an out of body type of experience?
Yeah, like I
you
was
should or
watching
not be here?
myself. I was watching myself like get put in the stretcher, like from up
the up
top,
top.
looking down type thing.
Were
you
you
know?
were you not conscious at that time when you were in the stretcher?
No,
You were-
I
you were
mean, I felt like I
conscious?
was awake,
You
but
felt
I
like it
was
was a-
watching. But I felt like my body, like, had left. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just felt
So
like
you had an out of body experience, but still conscious, and you realize that something else is seeing you, even though
Yeah.
you're still laying there.
Yes, like
you're seeing your own self, but you're still awake.
like it gave me another chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I was trying to tell you about how, like, cause of my body, cause like for a moment something had made me upset, right? But for a moment, like, I like, you kind of be like, man, like, you don't really much, you care about yourself, but it's like, man, like, shit, I don't got nothing to lose type of mentality, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to get to thinking the people that love you, like your family, you know, like your moms, you know what I'm saying, like people that care about you, and you're like, oh, hold up, like, nah, you gotta give a fuck about something, you know what I'm saying? You gotta care about yourself, you gotta think about, and that's what made me put on that seatbelt on that last minute. Like, I'm telling you, it was just God talking to me and like letting me know, like, hey, just like that, you can lose it.
Yeah, that's true too.
Your life, not just nothing materialistic, you know what I'm saying? Your life.
Yeah, let the I'm not the one that talked about weird stuff, right? She started about the out of body experience, so it wasn't me the one. No, real talk. I'm just glad you're good. I don't doubt. I don't understand certain things, right? People talk about energies and different things like that, and you can kind of sense certain people's different things like that, and you can feel it. But as far as I know, you're like talk about a lot. I don't understand it. I don't even understand what happened there. But I get it that it would be real that something like that happened to you, right? Whatever force, God, whatever you want to call it, creator, is that something within said, this is not, you need to do this and you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then even then, the reason, instead of just letting whatever happens, there was a reason for you to be like, hey, you got to come back because there's a lot of people that care for you.
Yeah, it's always perspective.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay. Can we talk about the fact how difficult it is to rap both in English and Spanish, especially for yourself? Like, as far as even keeping up the rhyming, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people give enough credit as far as how difficult it is and how talented you have to be in
Yeah.
order to do the flip back and
Yeah.
forth.
Well, I grew up in a Spanglish household,
Yeah.
so it was kind of like just it's natural, and it's funny because in the beginning when I started putting it in my music, it just came naturally. Like I didn't think too much into it until people started pointing it out and making it a thing, and I was just like, oh, I mean, this is normal for me, you know.
It is normal, but it's not normal because it does take a talent because you have to switch and then
does.
rhyme still.
And then, yeah, and so when I started to do it over the years, and, you know, I've done some songwriting as well, so I would have to do that for other people. It's like, all right, now I feel like I'm overthinking it. And just having to come up with, like, newer rhyme schemes using Spanish words and English words, and sometimes even having to bend the language a little bit just to, like, make it rhyme. But it'll still sound cool.
Are you
so.
doing Spanish tracks already?
Yeah.
Are you doing both English and Spanish too, or just staying two?
Yeah.
Are you
Spanish,
having that
English.
difficulty too, as far as, or does it come natural for you to do it as well?
Well, honestly, yeah. At first, it was a little bit difficult, like, because it was just a little bit difficult because, like, when I, like, grew up, I was just, like, learning English, you know, and my mom was the only person that would force me to talk Spanish.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know how to write it, to be honest. So when I began writing, I was, like, writing it like I would hear it, what I would, like, how I'd say it. I would just write it that way. And
That's
then,
true.
you know, along the way, it got easier, you know, as far as, because I didn't know how to write it, but I know how to spit it. So, I mean, as long as I could spit it, then I could put it on the paper and I could, you know what I'm saying?
So is that your method of creating or writing, or do you wanted to punch in, or it just depends on the mood, or just hear the beat and then go with it?
Yeah, I mean, listening to the beat, whatever the beat makes me feel, I just write.
You're the same way, right? You used to write, but you felt like it limited you to what you want to express. So now you just listen to the beat as well?
I listen to the beat. When I'll record myself and I'll just kind of like whatever the beat is speaking to me, I'll just start flowing and just freestyle.
I feel you on that because the little time that I did music, it's like the beat would talk to you.
Yeah.
It sounds freaking crazy,
Yeah.
right? But it would tell you
Yeah.
certain things that we want to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Them words start popping off.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's the
that's
energy in
that's
the
the
beat,
real
yeah.
thing.
That's
Like
live.
even though I did it for a short time, like I could, that stuff was real. Like if I didn't, the beat wasn't like next,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, what are you saying to me?
Yeah.
Okay. What about yourself? Are you still writing? How do your process? of
Yeah, I still
recording?
write,
You
listen
still
to
write?
music. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
You like writing it? You never
Yeah,
try to.
I always write to a beat. I gotta write to a beat.
Yeah.
Before I started like getting in the studio, I would write, but now I have to listen to a beat and write to it.
So you just to not even hear the beat, you already have something writing down. It's kind of sort of like
Yeah, before I
make
got
it-
in the
make it
studio.
fit.
But once we got with Pimpster and got like an actual producer, then as soon as I got real beats, and I always write to a beat.
Okay, so you had a little bit of issues with GT on one of your projects you had about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, but recently you released a song and it was with them as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you learn from that previous experience that helped you want to go with them? I don't know anything about them. I don't understand the whole full distribution thing still, but what was it that made you want to go to release this particular one, which was with who was it? The last one
The
single?
Latin Embassy.
Latin Embassy.
Straight looting with Project Pat.
Project Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just talking things out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, conversation fixes a lot.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the misunderstanding previously before then that we're not able to get and satisfy whatever you wanted to?
Not having my features on the album.
And that's because they weren't able to clear them, or
No,
what happened?
no, it would just they didn't put it in.
Okay.
So amateur mistake, I guess.
Just like, was it like they dropped the ball on it, or
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So y'all talked it out and
Yeah,
y'all
we
good,
talked
and
it
now
out
it's
and fix everything. So everything.
what did they? Because I know a few artists are with them. My Lil Cass from Fort Worth, he's a homie of mine. He's with them. He's an actual artist with them, and I know other artist GT. I think dropped some projects with them. So
Yeah.
So you're like,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people work with them.
how does the distribution, just from my ignorance, how does it work as far as what did they actually do that you can't do when you go with CD Baby or any other distributor that
Well,
you
I
can
mean,
do by
CD
yourself?
Baby pretty much a distributor. I use CD Baby too, so I mean,
So what are the perks as far as going with a GT or similar to or Empire?
like-
I know Empire is a whole lot bigger.
like certain playlists they can get you on and things like that,
Okay,
and
so
just
that's
certain little areas where they can push you in.
okay. What was Pimpster? What was the number one lesson that you still take to heart that he taught you whenever you were coming up, as far as taking you out to the studio and showing you the ropes? What was it?
I mean, he just gave us a lot of game because, of course, he was like one of the first very successful independent artists to come out of Dallas. Like we'd hear him on the radio and see him on Flavor TV and stuff like that. So I mean, he just would always give us game. First, it was a lot more business, just like pay me for the beats. Here's the beats. He did like a hook for us. But then once he saw our drive and he started hearing everybody talking about us, then he got more interested in like, I mean, because you come across so many people every day like, I want to rap. But you got to have a certain drive to actually make it. So once he saw that we were like, he started hearing about us everywhere. He saw us grinding everywhere. Then he's like, you know what? I'm going to give y'all some game. So, I mean, just like staying in people's faces. He told us to market to Latinos, and he's like, don't worry so much about the black crowd. So that was, whoops, my bad. That was something that kind of really stuck with us, because we were trying to be, I wouldn't say more universal, but kind of sticking to a market really helped us.
Yeah.
Especially with the name like Latin Embassy, like so many people would buy the album with not even hearing it just because
Just
it
it
was
says
named
Latin
Latin.
on it.
Yeah.
Just I hope that they listen to the podcast.
I mean,
It says Latin.
and that's what happened with South Park Mexican. That's why so many people got behind him, because
had
of what
Mexican.
he represented, you know?
He had Mexican on his name too. It's
So,
kinda-
I mean,
yeah,
basically
enticing.
marketing.
Yeah.
That was a great marketing tool. And he's like, the other people will come, but focus on your market and get that down, and the other people will come.
Okay. What about a Hater Proof? What was that one thing that you took away from Hater Proof when you were there with them?
Move to Houston.
Yeah, you've been there 10 years now.
Yeah, I mean,
10 years.
Big C's would always tell me like, bro, come to Houston. Like, you make it if you come to Houston.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So finally, I got to a point where I wanted to see like, what is the difference?
What is the difference between Dallas and Houston?
I would say support.
Besides freaking huge, Houston's freaking huge.
I mean, I would say support.
support.
Um,
Is that because maybe you're an outsider coming in from the outside and not
No.
necessarily a local guy, or is really
I
supported
mean, it was harder
differently?
for me being an outsider and coming in.
Mm.
Like, people are like, what are your intentions? Because so many people steal from that Houston culture. So they're like, what are really your intentions? But once people saw, like, I'm really trying to help things grow and be out here and give people advice and not asking for anything, like,
Yeah.
I really care about unity and us all evolving. That's what I care about, because to me, I see that is the only way we all going to win.
Yeah, true that. Okay, what is Mr. Neva Die? What has he helped you that you took to heart that maybe throughout your career you haven't heard before, and you'll be like, damn, I like that. I'm gonna run with that.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's not a weird question. It's just a good question.
I would say, really life lessons that I apply in the music, in the game. You know what I mean? Damn.
I stunned you with that one. I'm pretty good asking questions. I'm very curious.
That was really good. As a matter of fact, if I was to be like, has anybody asked me? That's one question that nobody's ever asked me. Yeah, but I mean, he's definitely inspired like a lot of how he says about you know unity and stuff. He like just amplifies that. Like, I stand for that, but seeing somebody else stand for the same thing and like not just talk about it but walk it, like talk it.
Yeah.
It's something that has have that I took into the game, and that's what I am. I try to bring the underground together for the underground by the underground.
Yeah, I like that the fact that it's actions, not just words,
Yeah.
because those are just a dime a dozen in social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Every freaking post you can put about unity, but you're completely like either stepping on the next person or not really about it, or you're just in your home, never going out to networking, never going out to this, doing features or different things like that, willing to pay and compensate for if that's necessary, if you're not up to par with whoever artist you're reaching to. And especially if you're not grinding and you're just completely always unity, like
Yeah,
shut
nah,
the fudge up.
definitely. It's that lead by the example that
Yeah.
he's like definitely had an impact in my
And
life.
that's one thing with me and G-Love. We sustain a lot of deep conversations, and she inspires me a lot. We inspire each other. Like, we
Right.
just kind of build conversations. Like, she'll say one thing, then I'll say one thing, and then we just kind of feeding off of each other.
And that's what the new wave is, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need more OGs like that, you know what I'm saying? That are not scared to, like, like, tell the youth, like, yo, like, try to lead us in the right path, because, shit, we lost out here, like, we
That's true.
hurting, you know what I'm saying? Like the youth out here right now is, like, hurting, like, heavy. So it's like, for somebody to, he don't have to do none of this, you know what I'm saying? But for somebody to, like, want to be that, like, the difference, you know what I'm saying? Like, lead by example, and actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, want to, like, help the youth, and so.
But she also wants to listen, too. She ain't like, fuck you, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Especially, I don't know how old you are, but mid-20s or so like that, you think you know everything about everything that you need to know, and
I
ain't
was
nobody tell
hard-headed.
you nothing.
Can't nobody tell me
Can't nobody
shit.
tell me nothing. I'm living
Yeah.
like I'm the smartest person ever.
Yeah.
Like, shut the hell up. You don't know.
Yeah.
You got nothing to tell me, your old person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We really
no,
go
for
about it because we
facts.
all live certain age like that, and we
Yeah.
always go through like, oh yeah, you can't tell me nothing. But we really do need to hear people.
Yeah, we do, for real. And so
Because
that,
they live there. They've been there.
yeah,
already.
to see somebody, like, to step out and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like not just like the I would say the artist, because, like, this is how I see it, bro. Artists are very impactful. Like, look what Anna Mvze is doing. She's just told her story. I mean, this is something she lived. You know what I'm saying? She was able to be vulnerable and tell her story and impact so many women out here that are, they're living by this type thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's just crazy to be able to like link with like-minded individuals.
Life is about balance, man.
That's true. What about you, Anna Mvze? What has Mr. Neva Die had told you or lesson or anything you take to heart?
You know, I really believe that, you know, everything's for a reason. You come across people for certain things. I've had a lot of experiences in my life, and one thing about me is I have very strong faith. However, I'm not perfect. You know, I have a lot of my weak moments, and I think one thing that I can say about Neva Die is that he definitely provides that reassurance, you know, that reminder, like to continue walking by faith, you know, and that's something that he always says is like, we're just walking. So I would say that.
It's true to that. It's like you can't see what's in front of you, but the same thing you do whenever you're driving in the middle of the night. You just trust the lights guiding you through the road and seeing what you can at that time, because that's the only thing we can really see. We can't really kind of sort of dictate what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I always think about that picture where there's two people and they're mining for a diamond, and like one's about to hit the diamond and he's going for it, and the other person gave up and he just would have hit a couple more times and he would have reached that diamond.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I always get that visualization.
That is true. You got to keep like doing it for sure. How hard is boxing that you love?
It's definitely a lot different than street fighting, for sure. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, it's when I went in there like I'm street fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. I mean, I had a lot of street fights. You know, so I mean, I went in there like that. But as I learned the sport more, I realized that there's definitely technique in it.
Oh, it's definitely technique. I hit the bag sometimes, and I realize those freaking gloves, how tired they can get. To keep them over here all the time is like hard. And even to hit it and just move around and all this stuff is like,
you gotta be able to pivot.
Yep. Like I enjoy watching boxing and all the stuff they do, and it seems so simple, but it's really not. So they're so precise. It's like pivots, certain punches, the jabbing, use it for defense, how to attack, how to set stuff up.
Technique.
It's freaking crazy how they do it. And I'll be like, and they get hit on the face too. I want to get hit on the face.
Yeah, no facts.
On one of the videos that I seen for you, you were opening up, you were performing. It was a pretty decent crowd, but it had Bad Bunny on one of the titles. Was that because you're opening for him, or what was it?
Yeah,
it was years ago.
I was opening for him.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was when he was first starting to be hot.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was I think at that time, that was probably my biggest crowd.
It was pretty big.
Yeah.
And the way you controlled the crowd?
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. It felt like my own concert. It was
did.
like Bad Bunny, it felt like my own, and it was beautiful. That was literally like one of my greatest experiences ever to be able to do.
You got with the phone, taking videos with the people.
Oh, I love interacting with my audience so much, so much.
Badass.
Yeah.
And I like the songs that you did where the beat starts off with like a bachata or some kind of Latino, and then it moves into like a hip hop.
Yeah.
That's freaking dope.
Thank you.
And then you even performed for some kind of news show before, right?
I did a lot.
In Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty dope too.
Thank you.
How did that come about?
At that time, I was working with this guy, kind of like my manager at the time, and he was just plugging me in. He also was the one that booked me for the Bad Bunny show as well. Nice. So yeah, he got me that performance on the news, and that was pretty crazy. That was my first time. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. She got down.
Yeah, if y'all ain't never seen these ladies perform, man.
The DJ was pretending he was doing something, but she
was doing
the show. You kept shouting them out, but like, why you shouting them out? We just doing nothing.
One thing about Anna Mvze, she definitely can, carry the crowd.
Yeah,
sure.
she controls the crowd. Yeah. They just watching her.
What was that video about where I think it was the product where the mic, did they cut the mic or what was it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I love the Fillmore. I performed there plenty of times. I guess they got new management. I don't know, but they were a lot more strict as far as how long my set was gonna be, and they just went about it a little bit, off. They started my 15-minute set before my DJ was already on, which was really messed up. So as I was going through the performance, all of a sudden I hear like my mic cutting down a little bit. So I go back towards my DJ to see what the problem is. And the guy literally just took my microphone. Like
Really?
just took it. And I was so frustrated. And I almost walked off. Like I almost like said, fuck everything. Like I'm just gonna walk off. But I took 2 steps forward and I saw my homegirl Chrissy, and she was carrying my merch. And it clicked. It's like, don't let anybody try to like dim your light, nothing. So I took the shirts and I just went back out there and I just, showed love and danced with the crowd, and I just yelled at the top of my lungs. Like, I know they took my mic or whatever, but, ain't nobody gonna silence me. It is what it is. So
That's dope.
Yeah.
And you got to open up for Tay Money too, right?
Tay
Not that
Money,
long
yeah.
ago? In Washington, that was in Washington?
That
or
was
it-
also in DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up. What about yourself? What acts have you opened up for? I know you've done plenty, right?
Yeah.
Name a few.
Shit,
They don't have to be the ones you're writing. It could be somebody else.
I don't know, like Slip Thug.
Yeah,
Like Paul Wall.
we have that in common too.
What?
Paul Wall too. Opened up for him
Oh,
before.
for real? That's
Or
like,
MC for one of his that he was gonna be there. 'Cause
Oh,
I used to
that's
MC. I still do MC for like private gigs and
Yeah.
weddings, but I used to open up for Slim and Paul Wall
That's
and Little
nice.
Flip.
Little
That's
Flip,
nice.
yeah, I definitely done that.
I did a little something. What about yourself?
Man, South Park Mexican,
Man,
Lil Jon, Trick Daddy, Petey Pablo. We did 97.9 The Beat when they
Yep.
did their first
the
show.
dub.
Yeah,
The dub.
yeah.
There's
No,
the
it
biggest
wasn't the dub. It was like a Christmas something, but we had opened up for them. It was live. Ludacris, man, a lot of people.
What
a lot
about
of people
yourself?
through Texas.
I know you got Tay Money. You have Snow. Who else?
I've opened up for Trinidad James, Ty Dolla $ign, Wiz Khalifa, who else? Tego Calderon, Larry Over, Noriel. I feel like there's more.
There's probably is more.
Yeah.
But you
a
again,
lot.
you're pretty good at
Yeah.
everything that you do. All y'all.
Thank
And
you.
it's so y'all so talented, and the fact that you say y'all are kind of like same like style of like the mind, your thoughts are kind of
Yeah.
aligned, even though you might be a little older, but at the same time it's like
Yeah, no cap. Yeah.
not to point that out,
What
bro,
is
but I'm
time?
saying it's
What is
crazy
time?
that you
Nah, for sure. Like that's and it's crazy because like I see it as a blessing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To be able to be
Absolutely.
around older people that are been there, done that.
ain't
It's,
that old.
it's a blessing. Like I don't get to make the same mistakes that they did.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's what all mentors is all about. A lot of people don't understand the
yeah.
mentors are about that. People
Yeah.
that walk that path, they can kind of sort of make it easier for you. And why
Yeah.
not, right?
Absolutely.
There's all kinds of stuff online already that you can look up, but why not if you have the real person that can tell you, hey, this is what I did and work out. This will work out a whole lot better if you do it this way. And
Oh,
save
that's
yourself a-
shortcuts.
Yeah, and then they definitely gotta understand you, and y'all gotta understand each other, man.
Yeah.
Like this is Soul Tribe. We used to run in tribes, back in the day,
Yeah.
like before everybody just dispersed,
Yeah.
into
Yeah, that's
their
why
own-
people still find groups to be part of
Yeah.
and be
Yeah, because
whatever.
it's like that's in us, you know what I'm saying? We were not created to be alone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Once you're aware of your energies, it's like and
Yeah.
frequencies and stuff. Like people, like-minded people, find each other, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to
What-
be weird.
Were you part of Big Boss Entertainment for a little while?
Yeah.
Or that was, or you still are, or you
no,
weren't?
no.
That was just
Yeah.
like a short-lived thing.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like advising.
Advising.
Yeah.
So you're advisor too. Look at
Yeah.
you. I forgot to add that on the intro. My bad, sir. Okay. So real quickly,
Yeah, that's
why
my
do-
advisor right there.
why do you, as far as the Nuwave Click, like why is it that y'all want to emphasize that it's okay for the younger to embrace, the older to embrace the newer, and then to be about unity and really walk it? Why is it super important for you? And I think it's important for all y'all, but
Yeah.
especially for you.
I mean, just like we're talking about, it's a balance. We're bringing generations together. We're showing understanding for each other. Of course, the unity. Like these are all important values that people need to instill so we can walk right. So we can make real things happen. Because for some, like, why are we not in place like reggaeton artists are, as far as rappers?
I'll tell you
Because-
why. As far as the Latinos, and I seen a TikTok, and I don't know if it's true, but it made a lot of sense. They were been collabing with each other for years.
Unity.
Like they've been, even if they weren't as unified, they saw that if they, like, for example, Osuna has a song, and freaking Daddy Yankee, hey, can you want to jump in the remix?
Yeah.
And then he does the remix. Business straight up. Okay, so I don't understand why we don't, as individuals, treat each other as entities, right? Like you think that Microsoft, if it's business wise with Apple, they go to them and offer a proposition to work as an entity business and further their product or their bottom line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if each individual, as far as artists, is supposed to like operate as a business, right? Because you package yourself as a person. Why do you have to involve the ego with it instead of like I'm this is a business decision, right? That I want to. So I think maybe they put that aside and they've been collaborating for years. We're talking about 10 years in the making, and that's the reason why now to this day till this day, if any genre of artists would continue to do that, jump on my remix. I jump in, and then we all work out however it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be upfront anything. It could be in the back end. But at the end of the day, it shows results because that's the reason why the reggaetoneros are in the spot that they are.
Facts.
Whether that guy was telling the truth or not, I don't know. But it made a lot of sense that it would be, right? And if you notice, every freaking song, all of them have remix on each other's.
Yeah.
Back
So
and
like
forth.
I said, we need unity.
But again,
Absolutely.
but we need to remove a little bit of the ego and think of it as a business.
And I've been
as
putting
a
in the
business.
posts. I've been putting in posts. Ego is the number one killer of unity.
It is. It is a hell of a drug too.
Yeah.
But again,
Pride.
if you really package yourself as like they say, you become like an entity, a company, your name, you're a brand, then you do what's best for your company and your name, not your person.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna go further because you don't have to put all those feelings and everything like that. And it's gonna be a smarter decision. Like I said, bigger companies merge with each other and work with each other to be bigger and create a bigger profit.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand why. And it's the same thing that happens here in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's not anything that is new. It's just the same thing. When I was in there, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty cool that Michael Rivoli and M. Dot and Vos Vega are all doing and coming together. But there's other groups that are not with them, right? That, at that event, with them three, a lot of artists that should have been there that are currently doing whatever is there, unless they have a prior commitment to even show face. It should have happened.
Yeah.
But
and that's the thing. Now I'm in Houston, and I mean I've been ever since I've been in Houston 10 years, and since I've been there, I've been constantly reaching out to Dallas, like, hey, let's work, let's network. I mean, I've been trying to build a bridge, and we're building it.
yeah, that's what's up. That's good. Good luck to y'all, man. And again, I think collaborating more, and keep mixing and intermingling with each other with the songs and stuff like that. I think it's gonna take a minute, but it can still happen.
Yeah.
Right? And things move
Generations,
faster too.
Like
Yeah.
I guess it's just like also like within generations, like how you said, it's just certain things back then that didn't matter today.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Like, but yeah, appreciate you for having us, man, for sure.
Oh yeah, I appreciate y'all, and I
Definitely
really
vibe.
enjoy y'all's videos.
Yeah.
One of the ones that is my favorite videos is the one you posted not too long ago about your drink, your michelada mix.
Yeah.
Like, about who drank, like, you open the fridge, who drank, and she's over here shadow boxing, talking about, like, that stuff is bad for you. And then she turned around with the close-up, and you see that freaking matcha. Oh, my goodness, I was rolling. I watched it, like, a few times. And, like,
Already.
I still watched it the other day just for fun, so, like, this is
Already.
And then the one about the anxiety about going into an interview, and you're so excited, oh, yeah, they're going to ask you, and you're, like, inside, all kinds of other stuff happening. That shit was hilarious to me.
Yeah, and then when I pop up, when I actually start saying something, it's like,
Yeah. And then how you gotta kind of sort of play the part a little bit. Okay, so do y'all have any projects that y'all have coming up right now?
yeah, I'm actually getting ready to drop a new single called Poppin'.
Popping. Again, that's just you.
Yeah, that's just me.
Okay. When you gonna start collaborating with people?
When you guys like collaborate-
I'm
Well,
just saying.
I mean,
You have some. You have
yeah, I
collabs.
have collabs, but I'm very like I don't know. I'm just picky on who I work with. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not like who I work with, but as far as the message and what we're trying to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
What about yourself? What you got going on?
Well, definitely the project with Crystal and Blue Diamond, that's going to be coming out very soon, but I'm also going to be coming out with my solo project as well.
You have any ideas? Started working a little bit. You have anything in the chamber already?
Oh, yeah.
You have some in the
I'm
vault?
actually going to be shooting 2 videos for it this month, later
Yeah.
this month.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. You need extras? Let me know.
Gotcha.
I go to Houston. I got some time right now.
Already.
The that song that you had, I think it was a feature with something Joker. that delivery, whatever you did, is freaking so good.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
homie could have came harder. I don't know who he is, but your part was, really
Thank
good.
you.
I freaking enjoy that. I listened to it a few times.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is
What about yourself? What you got going on?
Right now, me and G working
You
on
like
the EP.
that part, so it's all about-
Me and G Love working on the EP right now, and
Got together?
Yeah.
Is she included?
We gonna get her on the hook. Are we gonna do a group album? That what we're
I'm
working on?
down.
That's what I was. I wanted to know too.
memo.
I was waiting for like y'all.
live,
Y'all already
that's live.
within. You know,
Well, y'all
already
heard it here first.
I mean, it only makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't y'all want to be?
No, that's live. Yeah, no facts.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't dawn on y'all. Sitting around like, why
You know,
y'all
you know what? You know what's crazy though? I think right now we are so like, I mean, at least myself, I'm so disconnected from like everything else, but like what the purpose is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The message, like what we're trying to, like where we're going with it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But yeah, they're definitely it's coming, man.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Absolutely.
I mean, me and G Love have been like close for like a year now, and we've never worked on a song together. And then the other
Yeah.
day,
that's what I was looking for too. I don't think y'all worked on a song either. Have
Oh, we
y'all?
actually have
Yeah.
You have
a
a
song.
song
Yeah,
out?
but we haven't put it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Coming
I
soon.
was looking for everything and I couldn't
Coming
find it.
soon.
I'm like,
Yeah, no facts.
but the other day we were writing. We did 3 songs in like a night.
there you go.
2 hours to be exact.
I mean, I'm not telling y'all what to do, but y'all
Yeah,
do your
no.
own. But it only
Yeah.
makes sense if you're already there and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have
no
the talent.
facts. Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
different like styles are different. You're really
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah.
About Texas, you got the harmonizing, the singing with the Spanglish and different things like that. You just have your aggression sometimes, but then you can just mellow it down too and give it a
Yeah.
little bit of everything. So
And that's the
Yeah.
thing, making sure it makes sense. The chemistry is all there, and we're not just forcing something. Because,
Exactly. That's what I was
yeah.
trying to say. Like, as far we've just been focused on, like, of course,
Yeah,
like
Anna Mvze's
she's
project,
so brand
G
new,
Love's
to
project,
like,
yeah.
like brand new into this and like just the dynamics, like learning each other.
Yeah, and we
you know what I'm
haven't done
saying?
a song, and we've been chilling for a year. You know what I'm saying? So
like you say, sometimes y'all talked about it too, is the timing. So
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
has
but it
time.
was for me, if I'm looking from the outside, looking, it would
It's like
make
as a
sense.
consumer.
and then
As a
and then as
consumer,
the
it would make
artists we
sense
are
to
too,
me.
we have so much respect for each other. So we ain't just like trying to push up on each other. You know?
yeah, it's like
That's true.
respecting the fact that she has, upcoming projects with,
Yeah.
Crystal Poppin and, and her own stuff and then
We're
his own
focused
stuff
on
going.
goals.
you know
Don't
what
miss
I'm
the
saying?
wave though, because
Is it don't miss the way?
I'm just saying, not to ride on her wave.
Oh no,
but,
I know.
of
I'll be on
course.
the
Yeah,
ass.
yeah,
But
I'll be
that's
like,
where the
y'all
respect
gotta,
comes in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But what I'm saying though, y'all have to be able to leverage each other's from the
Absolutely.
things that y'all
Facts.
drop. You
Like
know?
I said,
Absolutely.
timing.
Yeah.
Timing.
Yeah.
And
Is that
they
what you know what I'm
inspire the fuck out of me, man. They're
Yeah.
such talented artists. Like they make me want to step my shit up. Like I can't be doing no bullshit ass verse. You know what I'm saying? Because
No, they
they're
are.
gonna come with
Like
it.
for
are.
example, like right now, like is like she has this project coming out. We're full on behind
Yeah,
what she
yeah.
got
Yeah.
going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so yeah, sometimes we just put other things to
Yeah.
the side and focus on like the artist that's going right now is the time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I mean, it's love. It's love. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I can't think about it like, oh, like that's why it doesn't work within other things because motherfuckers just got hate. You know what I'm saying? Like just hating, like pure like not being on some like genuine shit. You know what I'm saying? Being able to
Yeah.
grow
Yeah.
with each other. And like respecting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just respect.
Yeah.
I'll
But it's
be
cool.
like, G Love runs things, Anna Mvze runs things. They be like, Never Die runs things. We all point the fingers at each other. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
but that's how it should be, you
Yeah.
know? Like, we're all leaders in our own right.
Yeah.
You know, we all bring different perspectives to the table that we bring. but,
We bring it table.
and
Table
that's
to
the
the
dope part.
table.
Yeah. And that's the dope part, that we do have that respect. We should be putting each other on versus just like, hating.
and
Yeah.
we even attack
So-
problems together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But y'all could definitely, if y'all working in 3 songs, knocked it out pretty good. Again, you already have good chemistry as far as, and it's great to have things on the vault ready to go.
Yeah.
Like GT, Garza stays very consistent because that dude breaks it down to the quarter.
Yeah.
To where
Oh,
he
yeah.
doesn't do albums anymore. He does, about it because he talked to you about in podcast.
Yeah.
And he does EPs for the same reason that he'll have consistent work out. And putting stuff out and you getting streams only makes sense that it's just gonna keep
Yeah.
Yeah.
generating.
That's why a lot of people put out just singles. So that way it's just constantly dropping a song, and that
But
helps
what
the
he
stream.
does is freaking crazy.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
Chris Poppy said he's one of the hardest working dudes out there. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Because
He's got it down to a
but it's so
science.
smart though that you were never gonna disappear from the people if you were quarterly, at least quarterly, or maybe even twice a year, an EP. You'll be on people's faces all the time.
Consistency is the key to this game.
But y'all find a way to do that with the videos, with you with TikTok and you with the reels and stuff like that. It's it's always on people's faces, so it's good. You need to step it up with your videos, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you are hilarious.
But I
together.
mean, behind the scenes too. So
No, but that's the other thing too, though, because I was trying to do the rapping for a little bit, but it was more. I found myself on the managerial side, and it's kind of hard to do.
oh
work
yeah, it's rough.
because funds, time, and all that goes to others and not yourself
Yeah.
that you want to.
Yeah.
So you kind of
And then sometimes I even feel selfish being an artist. I'm like, dang, I should be worried about them right now. You know, like
so
last
it
night.
is challenging. I give it to you.
Yeah.
It is very challenging.
Last
but
night
But
I was
we
trying to
also
record
embrace
them, then
them,
put
you
my
know what I'm
phone.
saying? We also embrace them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we went a little bit short on time. However, let me get all your social medias. Let's start with G Love.
You guys can follow me at GEELOVEHTX.
Make sure you follow me back. Check your DMs. I got a bone to pick with you. I DM you months ago about an interview.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't open it?
Check your request video.
I
Well,
gotta
I
dig.
mean,
When
that's
you're
what the
accept-
manager
when
for.
you're
That's what the
accepting-
manager for. Y'all gotta start hitting me up.
Manager! I'm just kidding. You don't have to. But I'm just saying it's okay. Not that I always get what I want, but I always get what I want because I'm like, I know she's going to be on my podcast one of these days
Well,
soon enough.
here I am.
I know.
That's what's
Man,
up.
So happy.
Right.
So happy that you're a very cool person. Not
Thank
on
you.
IG though, because you don't be accepting. I'm kidding. I'm not petty like that. I'm kidding. But it's pretty cool that you came through and then all y'all are here. I
Oh, yeah,
appreciate
for
y'all.
sure.
I saw you coming in over here and I'm like, man, let me see if we can do
Already?
something happen.
Hey,
We
you
made
got,
it happen.
you got
Yeah,
3 and
yeah.
1. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so before I get all your social media, you
You can follow me everywhere. That's Anna Mvze, Anna with 2 N's, Mvze.
okay? And how did you get into the podcast that you're doing now, the Texas Underground Radar?
Actually,
you were a frequent guest, I know that.
yeah. And then I took G Love over there to interview with J Vaz, and we just started kind of chopping up about it. He
Yeah.
said that he wanted to do something like that, but he couldn't find a co-host. And I was like, well, I left one podcast, so
You were starting to do a podcast.
Yo,
right?
well, I was
fact.
I was part of Crim's Crib.
Fun fact, I was getting interviewed on that podcast, and it just came about. Like, it was just inspired in that moment of, like,
That's
the
dope.
interview.
That's
so
dope.
it just had to be that. You know what I'm saying? He's a great co-host, and they got great chemistry
Yeah,
together, you know?
do. I'll be
For sure.
watching your episodes. I
Alright.
don't know if I subscribe or not, but if that was my bad, my apologies, sir. I'll be subscribed by the time we're done with
Already.
this. But yeah, I'll check you out all the time.
Appreciate
And
it.
then I do for the GT Garza certain things that I like to hear that I want to expand the conversation on. Like,
Yeah.
oh y'all's, I watched y'all's interview too. You know, I like.
Already.
So that's how I know and expand whatever conversation y'all were having, or
Yeah.
made me want to. Maybe the fan had the question about
Yeah.
how, oh, you didn't say this, or what if this, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
well, let me put myself in the fan. What if I want to
Yeah.
ask that?
That's what podcasting is. You're putting
Yep.
yourself as a fan, you know?
Mhm. Facts.
Yep. Okay, and your social media?
At Mr. Neva Die.
Okay, and real quickly for all y'all, so it's amazing that y'all like-minded and came together, and the fact that y'all come from different backgrounds, as far as I mentioned earlier, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Peruvian, and y'all doing amazing things, and the fact that now, all the luck to y'all, and I hope I see all the projects y'all got coming out. Anytime y'all have a press run, let me know. I'd be more than happy to have y'all, whether it's individually or all together.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're super dope. And the fact that your music now is easily to reach globally, like Anna Mvze, G Love, and Mr. Neva Die, y'all are a global Latin factor. So I appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
And one more last question before I let you go. If anybody was to Google y'all, what do you hope for them to find from you many years from now? We'll start with Mr. Neva Die.
I mean, just helping the culture grow. Trying to be a pillar and give advice and help, because I want to see our culture succeed.
You're not trying, you're doing. You are being a pillar, and you
Thank you.
really are. So it's not no trying, you are.
Thank you.
So I hope they do find that and more
Thank
about you because you really are. What about yourself?
I would definitely say, you know, to whomever like finds me would be whatever it is that you want to do in life, whether it be a doctor, a dancer, a singer, go for it, you know, and don't hold back. Give it your all. So I would say that, and hopefully they can also accept and become one with their healing journey as well.
And a global artist. You're a global Latin factor, so you just be a global artist, that's it. So what about yourself, G-Lo?
I would just, I don't know, man. I think I'd be wanting to help the youth a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids, just the people. You know, I'm giving back to the people. You know, showing love to my community, and you know, growing and for the people, by the people, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you so
us,
much
man.
for having us.
This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We're the spice in this melting pot. It is the world. Till next time. Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. If you are enjoying the content and the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers so we can bring you more episodes, more channel. Go like, go subscribe, go write a comment. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
What is de la Vigo? Walks like a pero but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana and we from Puerto Rico. On a pirate ship, you don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and